So first of all, thank you very much for your time and for providing us this interview. I believe you already know, particularly Rudolfs, I believe you do know. This interview is done uh, because of an Interreg Europe project that is going on, of which Riga Planning Region is a participating partner. The project is called the Tent Connect. My name is Daniela Pedro. I'm part of the communications and management team. That's why I'll be the one conducting these interviews. And this project, it is an interregional cooperation project, and it is focused on the development and betterment of particularly regional policies on various areas. This specific project is focused on bettering the TEN-T network, so the European, the trans-European network of transport. And then it also develops and talks and a bit about mobility and connectivity and participation of the various regions. So one of the countries involved is Latvia, of course. And they were also the partners from Riga Planning Region, were the first partners to be responsible for the development and implementation of a cooperation event called an Exchange of Experience event that happened last week. And in accordance to the implementation of these events, stakeholder interviews are supposed to occur so that we can sort of get feedback from regional players on these topics relating to connection, urban connection, transports and transport networks and systems, and particularly focusing on the connection between main sort of metropolitan urban areas and peri-urban or rural areas that are usually less connected or are a little bit sort of left out of most transport systems. So this is the second interview we do. We wanted to sort of join everybody in a big sort of roundtable talk, but it wasn't we couldn't do it because of the conflicts of agendas between the stakeholders. So yesterday we've already had an interview with two colleagues from Riga, and we've talked about the main, I think, problems and hindering factors that are not allowing for a better transport system to be implemented. So I think today, besides the two questions that we had already laid out, I'm going to sort of make some connections between what was said yesterday, and I want to get your feedback and your vision on that as well, if that's okay. I'm going to make this very brief. Okay, so it's going to be 30 minutes tops. Two reasons. One, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and second one, I don't think people will be really interested in watching 1 hour or 2 hours videos, and we really want the message to spread. So we're going to do this 30-minute video that's going to be posted on YouTube and then on the project's website. And then we're going to do sort of short 2 to 3 minute videos to spread online through Facebook and LinkedIn. All of the final videos then are going to be sent to you by email so that you can watch it as well and keep it on your records if that's something that's useful for you. So are there any sort of initial questions that you want to ask? Any doubts?
No, no questions.
Okay. First of all, so as I've said yesterday, we met with Riga City, and they talked a lot about some obstacles that they think are hindering the implementation of new mobility systems and networks that can actually fit people's needs and that can connect, in this case specifically Riga to Kekava. I'm sorry if I'm not saying this correctly. And a few things they mentioned was that there was sort of a centralized management of the transport network. So the national government sort of imposes most of the functioning of the system, and it makes it very hard for regions to have the needed autonomy to then create systems that are actually in line with their people's needs and with the specificities of each place. Do you agree? Do you think this is something that is an obstacle for the bettering and development of these transport systems, or do you think that this centralized management is the best way?
So first of all, I guess the answer deals with the first question, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Kekava Municipality, our main focus is to cooperate with different kind of institutions. For example, every day we cooperate with Latvian state roads about the main problems in transport system. For example, our great success for now is the Kekava bypass, but mostly now our problem is traffic jams between Kekava and Riga. But it deals with other projects like the Velo infrastructure projects between Riga and Kekava to connect this infrastructure, and for pedestrians also. But in daily, our main focus is to work with a new territory plan. We integrate different kind of solutions. For example, Rail Baltica. That's the topic for now. We integrate the how will go the rails across the Kekava municipality. So yeah, what else? We had a few months ago public discussion with Kekava citizens and other municipalities, including Mārupe, about the state road A5 environmental impact assessment, which was made. So we cooperate with the company European Railway Lines, which is the company which will build this infrastructure. So, and also with the Ministry of Transport. So yeah, that's it from my part, I guess. Yeah, maybe maybe some other questions about that.
I think I was interested in a thing you said. So you mentioned you were doing an environmental impact assessment. Do you have the results of that?
My colleagues was part of this public discussion. I think we don't have the results of it yet, I guess, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know that there was this several public discussions about this environmental impact assessment, which is about to make the A5 state road not 2 lanes of highway, but 4 lanes. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know, Rudolfs, do you want to add anything?
Yes, I want to add actually from a regional perspective, from a regional planning authority, as a Riga Planning Region, we see that, of course, the main role, as also Kristaps mentioned, is played by state organizations like Latvian State Roads in terms of main road planning. But from my perspective, I see that actually Kekava direction, if you look like 10 years ago, I think it was one of the most problematic directions out of the Riga City to metropolitan area. We see that Kekava bypass as a project, I think it works and improves the situation regarding mobility of the whole Riga metropolitan area as it's connected with the Riga bypass. And of course, there are some projects ongoing now regarding Riga City, what they are doing, but I think after a year or after a couple of years, maybe this Kekava direction will be one of the best if to compare like 10 years ago, yeah. And of course, this project was led mostly by Latvian state roads, but I think what is really important that also micromobility infrastructure is already in place. So it means it's much better connection with the Kekava Municipality and also connecting with the other parts of Riga City. And I think next step, if to look forward, I think, of course, we see that Riga bypass is really important for the whole metropolitan area. And as you may understood, there are no like exactly clear plans for the future. There are some visions to make it 2 lines or 4 lines and how to integrate with Rail Baltica, but it's still a bit uncertain. And I see that the TenConnect project is a really good, I would say, tool how to move forward with that question and also engage different stakeholders. And another aspect, if to look from a management point of view, for example, this micromobility infrastructure, it was mostly planned by municipality together with the region. So it means we supported this project also as a regional and as a municipal stakeholders. Yeah, I think it really showed a good collaboration between state, region, and municipality.
That's very good. I think another thing is, so usually it's very considered and is very when we think about priorities in planning, we always think about the small municipalities, let's say it like this, and then the big urban areas and how they connect. Is there any investment or plans done for the connection between the small municipalities? So, because usually the transport networks sort of all go towards the big urban center, and sometimes it's hard for people to go from point A and point B on the peripheral regions. At least on a public transport side. So there's usually roads, but sometimes there's no buses or there's no trains or whatever it is that can connect these peri-urban regions between themselves. Is that something that's a priority for you? Do you have any good examples on how that can be done or any plans? Or is that something that it's not really a priority and you don't think it's needed?
So about the public transport, we can say that we don't have enough connections with other municipalities except with Riga, and the transport that comes from Bauska to Riga through Kekava to Riga. Maybe in the near future there might be new connections with Mārupe and other municipalities, but for now people using public transport usually go to Riga. And there are several reasons to get education, to go to work, and so on. about the new roads in Kekava, especially now in our new territory plan, we don't plan new roads, but we cooperate, like I said previous, with Latvian state roads about this Riga, not only Kekava bypass, but Riga bypass to connect state road A5 with A4. That's the main focus for now, and maybe another thing is that from now, maybe in a future, the Rail Baltica project will it would be a great success for our municipality. For example, the regional rail transport system. So there might be new stops, rail stops. So especially we know that there might be very close to Kekava in Jaunsils the mobility point. Rail Baltic mobility point in Jaunsils. And especially we now work to reconstruct the roads in Jaunsils, so to get a better road infrastructure system there. So yeah, from my perspective, that would be it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you want to add anything, Rudolfs, or?
Well, yes. Public transport, of course, is also a priority in our regional development plans. But the situation, actually, it's historically so that all main public transport routes, of course, are leading to Riga as a capital. And if we look at the whole Riga metropolitan area settlement structure and urban sprawl processes during past 2 decades, of course, people are living in many places outside cities, in settlements close to capital city, but in not so well integrated transport infrastructure and public transport system. And of course, this public transport system is getting better, but maybe not so fast as this settlement is still spreading out. Yeah, I think it's still a problem. And another problem is that it's very center-oriented. There should be public transport routes planned also around capital. For example, from Mārupe to Kekava, from Kekava to Salaspils, other side of the river, and so on. Yeah, because very many businesses and working places are located in places outside the Riga city, around the airport and also other territories. So this integration of public transport is really a topic now for us, and we see that in the near future, within a stakeholder collaboration, we can move forward also with a sustainable urban mobility plan as a tool to integrate these principles, and there's also foreseen most probably some kind of reform regarding management of the whole public transport system to be integrated in the whole area. Yeah.
Okay. I think my final question would be a little bit changing the topic, but this project also focus on sort of sustainable mobility, and it goes a bit about sort of, for example, well, making the cities more walkable. So the concept of 15-minute city where you can walk or bike to places. In that regard, is that something that's also a priority or an interest for Kekava, or is it something that's not really important or as important as other modes of transportation would be for the near future?
So from Kekava view is that we want to develop new velo infrastructure here in Kekava, not only in Kekava, but with other municipalities. Like now we are working with the Riga Municipality to connect these routes, that it would be very easy to get from Kekava Municipality to Riga Central Station using only bike, and that's one of these things around Kekava. We also in not in every single project, but if we talk about to reconstruct our roads, we always think about to make a better infrastructure for pedestrians and for people who use a bike, and yeah, and for example, now in one of our main streets in Kekava, Ziemeļu Street, which connects the Riga bypass and all the Kekava bypass. We plan to connect the velo infrastructure there. So yeah, we spread all the time this velo infrastructure around the Kekava, so to make better. So yeah, that's one of these things what we work and focus now. Yeah.
Good. Rudolfs, do you want to add anything?
Yes, as Kristaps mentioned, I think in the near future, most probably Kekava will be one of the top municipalities in Latvia by overall kilometers with a micromobility infrastructure. I think if you look municipalities surrounding capital city Riga, I think we can for sure say it's so that yeah, it's like micromobility municipality by terms of development of such kind of infrastructure. And another important topic is of course proximity of these local development centers around the capital. Of course, Kekava itself now has a status of a city because previously it wasn't. It's similarly with Mārupe, so it means like we can say that these smaller cities are some kind of satellites of the capital city Riga, and from regional perspective, of course, we want to have a proximity and this 15 minutes concept implemented in these places. But it's not only about these cities, but also other smaller settlements of these municipalities to be connected with the Kekava city, and of course also with Riga. Yeah, and I think many plans are in place. For example, action plan for the Riga metropolitan area development, plans of local municipalities, but of course, many things mentioned on a development vision or a spatial vision of these plans. It's still a vision. Yeah, there are no like real development happening. But I think we are on our way, and I think the main tool is to have a good collaboration between stakeholders. So to have this multi-level governance approach between municipality, region, and state institutions.
Okay, it's very good.
Yeah, I wanted to add that about this administrative territorial reform, which we had in 2021, when when Baldo and the Kekava became one municipality, and this is another thing that inside in our municipality we also focus to connect these two cities, like micromobility infrastructure, because the only way for now to get to one city to another city is only with your own car and the public transport. There is a public transport, but it's not so accessible for all people. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. So thank you very much again for both of you for your participation and for your time.